today we'll be going over commas. And this is not the complete list of commas that you can use. This is just the examples that are in our problem today. So first off, we'll be talking over series or a list. In each list, you want to put the comma right after each individual item on the list, except for the last one. So for this sentence saying baby pink, lavender, and maroon are some of my favorite colors, you will put the comma after baby pink, comma, lavender, comma, and maroon are some of my favorite colors. For places, you will put the comma right after the city. And if you can't tell which one is the city or the state, or sometimes you would have the state and the country right after, the city always comes before the state and the state always comes before the country. So you can think of it as small and then large. And you always put the comma right after the small one. So I was born in Bethlehem, comma, Pennsylvania, which is not true, by the way. So when you have a sentence that's longer than this, that is not just I was born in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, you would actually put a comma after the state as well. So it would be I lived in Bethlehem, comma, Pennsylvania, comma, for 20 years. For dates, you will put the comma right after the day, not the month, not the year. So it would be today is February 18th, comma, 2021. When you have a longer sentence that doesn't just end in today is February 18th, 2021, you will put the comma after the year as well. So it would be today is February 18th, comma, 2021, comma, in Bethlehem, comma, if you remember from our city rules, Pennsylvania. And I forgot the period there, so let's just put a period. Okay, and another thing that will pop up in this problem set is that introductory clause, like when I was your age or after this or things like that, you would always put an introductory clause after the introduction. So when I was your age, comma, I learned about commas. So you wouldn't put it after when I was your age, I learned comma about commas, because that wouldn't make sense. The introduction is when I was your age. Okay, so let's go over these practice problems on this problem set. Okay, so correct the text by inserting one comma. The first drive-in movie theater in the United States opened near Camden, New Jersey on June 6, 1933. Okay, so the first thing that you should have noticed is that Camden, New Jersey has a correct comma as well as a correct comma after New Jersey. Because as we stated previously before, when you have a longer sentence that doesn't just stop after the state or country, you would put a comma right after here. So it would be I lived in Bethlehem, comma, Pennsylvania, comma, for 20 years. So that means that the comma would have to be in the state. And where will we put the comma? We will put the comma right after the day, not the month, not the year, but the day. So on June 6th, comma, 1933. Okay, so correct the text by inserting 4 commas. You guys might think that is excessive. However, that is just how it is. Okay. So the naturalist showed us how to identify 5 types of trees: elm, oak, maple, cedar, and beech. Okay, so as we can see here that it is a list. And as we said before in our rules, you will put a comma right after each individual item on the list, excluding the last one. So the answer would be elm, comma, oak, comma, maple, comma, cedar, comma, and beech. Okay, so correct the text by inserting 2 commas. To shoot successful nature photos, Nellie recommended using natural light, a tripod, and the camera's manual mode. As we can see here that this sentence has a series or a list. And from the last example, you'll put a comma after each individual item. So it would be Nellie recommended using natural light, comma, a tripod, comma, and the camera's manual mode. Our next example says correct the text by inserting 3 commas. So cranberries are used in jellies, juices, baked goods, and sauces, all of which are often served on Thanksgiving. As we can see, we have yet another list. So you'll put comma after jellies, juices, baked goods, and sauces. So we have 3 commas placed. Okay, so correct the text by inserting 2 commas. On December 21st, 1968, Apollo 8, the first spacecraft carrying humans to orbit the moon, was launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida, with 3 astronauts aboard. All right, so this is correct. There's a comma right after the date, and as well as a comma after the introductory clause, which means that our commas will be placed somewhere around here. All right. And where would it be? It would be right here because it lists a city and a state. So we will put one after the city. However, the sentence continues. So we will put a comma right after Florida as well. Okay. And one final one, correct the text by inserting 1 comma. Radio City Music Hall, comma, a famous theater in New York City, comma, opened on December 27th, 1932. The only error that we need to put a comma in would be after 27, because as we discussed before, you would have to put a comma right after the date. Okay, and yep, that is our daily practice limit. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.